What's going on, YouTube? It's Greg Morgan here again from my PA life. This is going to be my second video. Today I'm going to talk about my classes and just exactly how hard PA school is. I know everyone wants to know that. Coming in, can you get away with cramming? Is it anything like undergrad? What to expect from the teachers? Because I know there's a stigma that like when you go to PA school and master's programs, things like that, that you're going to have to completely teach yourself. They're only there. They're not going to hold your hand anymore, blah, blah, blah. And that's not exactly what I found. At least in my first semester, I keep hearing that the second semester is going to be way harder. Just to orient you, I've done one semester and I'm on break, and we'll be starting like clinical medicine next. So I've gotten out. I've gotten kind of the hard science courses out of the way. Some of the classes I've done just to give you an idea of the time frame and the amount of work you're going to be doing. I have them listed right here. I've taken cell physiology, genetics, immunology, pharmacology, microbiology, and those were all about 3-week courses each. Some of them were stacked on top of each other. Like genetics was stacked on top of the other one, on top of like cell phys and immunology. Microbiology and immunology were definitely the hardest ones. Those were very challenging classes. And then I had anatomy, and that went through the entire summer. That was probably the hardest class I had all year, just because of the amount of material. And we had anatomy lab the whole time, which was super cool. Actually, it helped learn more about the body than I've ever even imagined I would know. Honestly, I know every single part of the body, and trust me, I know every part of the body. We dissected cadavers. And here at Johnson & Wales, I do recommend, if you're going to PA school, that you go to a school that has cadavers, and not only has cadavers, but has cadavers that you get to work on intimately, and it's a small enough group to where you actually know what you're doing. Here we had four people grouped to each cadaver, so we have 24 kids. We had 6 cadavers, and then one that the teacher only dissected, which I didn't use much. So I recommend that as a major focus for you if you're planning on going to a PA school. Make sure it has cadavers. So that ran all year. That was a tough one. And then we had patient care that also ran all year. And we had this course called like PHP. It's like patient, just history of the PA profession, things like that. We had a lot of guest speakers come in. That one wasn't graded, but it still took up about an hour every other day. And we did have projects for that, things like that. Just an idea, compared to undergrad, it's a lot more material because, like I said, we took all those classes within less than 3 months. So we'd have cell physiology, that'd be about a 2.5-week course total. And for instance, I looked this up last time. Microbiology was a 2.5 week course. We only had 2.5 weeks, and each lecture was 2 hours. But we had about 600 to 700 slides just in 7 lectures, I guess. So it's super fast paced. One thing I want to mention, it's not as in depth as my undergrad was, because I guess undergrad you have specific classes that go on for about the full semester, and you get into really nitty whatever the hell details. It's a lot more detail, I guess I'm trying to say. But here, they specifically focus on the clinical aspect, especially like microbiology, for example. He only focused on the major clinically relevant bacteria, viruses, just everything else. And it was really good to do that because there's a lot of nonsense, like nomenclature, things like that you can get into that I did more in undergrad. But that's not the case in most of our classes. They're focused on how you can progress as a PA. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. I know everyone else did. Doesn't mean it's easier. There's still a ton to learn, but it's just better where the focus is, I guess. In undergrad, I was a huge crammer. I pretty much waited till the last night to cram everything, and I was able to do fine. I was wondering how that would translate into PA school, and everybody told me I wouldn't be able to do it, that it's, because you're in class from usually around 8 or 8:30 until around 3 or 4 every day. So that's the biggest difference between undergrad. Is it's just a grind, man. It takes a toll on you. You're exhausted by the end of the day just from being in class all day. So then you have to go home and study about 2 or 3 hours, which I was really good about doing in the beginning. But at the end, I did start cramming a lot more. My grades, it didn't really reflect my grades, honestly, but it gave me a lot more anxiety to cram like that. And when I say cram, I don't mean like the last day before a test, cram everything. I mean like maybe 3 days before a test, I would start actually studying material, but it'd be like 4-hour sessions at a time. So I don't think you can cram it all. You don't have to study all day, every day. Some people do. Don't tell my classmates. They'd be really mad at me if I said that. And that's another thing too. There's a lot of stress, a lot of stress in the environment that you're in. And a lot of people stay and study afterwards. And I did in the beginning, but then I changed it and just started going home because I realized that I learned better by myself. Everyone has different opinions. I did notice that some people started leaving earlier, and so then a whole other group would stay longer, and different groups of people start to find out who they really study best with, and that's what it's all about. It's whatever helps you best, because it's hard for everybody. It's not going to be easy. Even the smartest people don't have. It's not easy for you just because the amount of material. It's not like you learn one concept and you're done. You have to spend time. You have to just spend time looking at it. It's not a smart or dumb thing. It's just everyone, you have to put the work in to get what you're trying to get. That being said, everybody did pretty much got an A in every class, so we haven't worried about failing. I think that's going to change next semester, so I'll update some videos for you guys and just let you know where I'm at there. Hopefully it doesn't, but literally even the teachers warned us that next semester is much harder. I wrote down a few notes here about how to take notes, because I was concerned about that, because I always took notes on a notebook, actually like pen and paper when I was in undergrad. And here I found that I have to use my laptop. Not really because I can't do it with pen and paper, I could, but my hand would be exhausted. But the fact that there's so many notes, keeping it organized on a laptop just makes it so much easier. And it's pretty much you walk into the lecture, and most of them are just slides after slide after slide. They're pretty good about putting everything on the lecture, though. Which goes into another topic I didn't even think about. Books. I know I didn't really read books in undergrad, and I still haven't here. I hope my professors aren't watching this, but I just study the PowerPoints, and I've been able to do fine. I know every program is going to be different with that. So just keep that in mind, and try to reach out to your second year or to the year above you. We were actually assigned like a big brother, big sister type deal, and that helped a ton. And mine kind of told me not to buy books, so I was like, all right, whatever. If they did it, I can do it because I did it in undergrad, and I haven't had to so far. But that could all change. I don't want to put bad habits before you even get to PA school. But honestly, I didn't know whether it was going to be all tests or have like homework and things like that. And we have had some homework and a couple of group projects, and that's been a little tedious because they do that on top of while you're trying to study for exams, because you pretty much have an exam always coming up, and then you'll have like maybe 1 week where you don't have an exam, and that's just like where you want to relax as much as you can, and then you can assign a group project. So it's never like fully. You never get a full rest, I guess. Like even on this break, I just got an email saying that I'm going to be, pretty much we're going to have a pop quiz on Monday. Like hint, pop, like you need to read this thoroughly for Monday. And for example, before we even started, during orientation, we had a test on medical terminology. So that just gives you an idea. Like once you're in, you go, man. There's no waiting around. There's no time spare. You only have a year. And I can say I've learned more than I ever thought I possibly could, and it's been absolutely amazing to actually learn about this stuff from a clinical aspect, and it's actually starting to click. It really is starting to click, and I probably obnoxiously to people around me because I'm always trying to point things out, and maybe I know that maybe this is what's going on. I'm probably completely wrong, but that's just how my brain is processing it at the moment. But hope I didn't discourage anybody, because it is a lot, and I know everyone says it is a lot, but I wasn't sure coming in. But just let me tell you, listen to me, that it's going to be a lot of work, and you have to take this as your full-time job. There's no working outside of it. All I can do is I try to manage. I try to work out and stay sane, And go out. Definitely go out. Our group is really, really cool. All the kids or all the students, I shouldn't say kids because 26 years old. we're all pretty tight, and we do go out on the weekends and we have fun and have a beer, have 5 beers, have 10 beers, whatever on the weekends. Just make sure you get home safe. But Providence has been good because we can all walk home. But definitely do that. You gotta relax because it's gonna be super stressful, but you'll get through it, man. And I'm having the time of my life, really. It's great to be back in school because I took a break, and just being back in school in that environment with the learning crowd around me has been great. So, all right, guys, I hope that answers some of your questions you might have about the classes and test taking, things like that. I know there's so much to go over that I'm sure I skipped something. So if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll try to get back to you. You can expect a couple more videos between now and the next couple months, but it's hard to say how this next semester is going to be coming because summer was supposedly easy, but I was still pretty busy. I did have free time, but I don't expect that to be the case this year or this semester. So, all right, guys, well, I'm signing off now. Take care. I'll see you again.